We're going to talk about our new pre-workout called Reactor. There were a lot of really bright people that helped create this product, and we're really proud of it. I remember when we got our first samples, I used it. I remember I was doing incline dumbbell presses and I pulled out my phone while I was training. Yeah, I had my phone while I was training. And I texted Ed and I said, Ed, I think we got a winner here. This is a really cool feeling. I don't think I've had this feeling before. So this is a great product we've put a lot of work into. We're going to get into the details now with the Secretary of Shredditivity, Scott Stevenson.
This is a really unique combination of supplements. We've kind of grouped them, the ingredients, into 3 categories for the Reactor. This is the pre-workout. We want to get a pump, we want to have a performance and ergogenic effect, and of course, the pre-workout, you want to feel ready to rock and roll when it comes time to train. So in the pump category, and you'll see all this on the website with all the scientific details that everyone loves, we've got a number of key ingredients here. L-citrulline is in a whopping 6-gram dose. This is going to be an effective dose in and of itself. This is a precursor to arginine. So arginine, of course, is going to feed into nitric oxide, otherwise known time in days gone past as endothelial-derived relaxing factor. So this is going to increase vasodilation. And nitrosogene is a silicon-stabilized version of arginine. So basically, we've got 2 ways of feeding into the arginine pool in your bloodstream so we can get nitric oxide and vasodilation. Hydromax is a glycerol source. And we actually have some inside information that just this 1.5 gram dose of Hydromax will increase extracellular volume in the muscles and help you with the pump. So it's just, you think 1.5 grams, what's that going to do for you? This is actually enough to make this happen. And this last ingredient is very cool. So Vasodrive AP, these are actually milk-derived lactotripeptides. So these are 2 tripeptides, isoleucine, proline, and valine, proline, that will inhibit the angiotensin converting enzyme. So if you look into, and perhaps you remember some of your endocrinology there, angiotensin converting enzyme is very important for vasopressin conversion. Vasopressin is a vasoconstrictor. So when we provide these tripeptides in just 254 milligrams, we have a way of inhibiting angiotensin converting enzyme, which releases vasopressin and causes an even greater pump. What's really cool about these, there's actually some thought that angiotensin converting enzyme inhibition is an ergogenic aid that should be outlawed by WADA. It's pretty impressive stuff. So you can either inhibit the ACE enzyme or inhibit the angiotensin 2 receptor, and both of those things will have powerful vasodilatory effects. So that all of that goes in just to the pump section of the Reactor. In the strength performance anti-fatigue area, we've got, of course, good old creatine. Everyone needs creatine, 3 gram dose. So this is going to be enough to load you up. If you take this, you work out 4 or 5 times a week, you'll be loaded in a matter of a couple weeks if you're not already taking creatine, but it's there. And creatine, of course, has its own anabolic actions too, potentially. Betaine HCl is a cell volumizer. This actually has some ergogenic effects unto itself. And beta-alanine. Now, some people don't like beta-alanine. They don't like the tinglies. Some people love the tinglies. So we've got a 1.8 gram dose here, which is enough to keep most people below the tinglies that you get from beta-alanine. This, of course, is increasing muscle carnosine content. So this is going to act as a buffer and thus an ergogenic aid unto itself. So just as a note, if you just take beta-alanine just from the Reactor, 1.8 grams a day is going to take you a long time to dose up. Probably about 200 grams of beta-alanine total consumed is what you need to increase muscle carnosine content enough to have an ergogenic effect. So this is enough to get you started. You can take more and get there faster, or you could just take this and maybe take 100 days to do that. It's up to you. And L-ornithine, L-aspartate, otherwise known as LOLA, is a pretty cool product as well. Ornithine and citrulline and arginine are all part of the urea cycle. So ornithine is helpful because it's also going to interact with citrulline and our arginine source here to provide more nitric oxide. The urea cycle is part of ammonia scavenging, so we can get an ergogenic effect here by scavenging ammonia. So Ammonia is a byproduct of very high intensity contractions. We want to get rid of ammonia, first of all, because it potentially can inhibit energy supply, and it can also make you feel fatigued as well, so have a central effect. This last section here, this is my favorite. This is probably what you've been waiting to hear me talk about. These are the ingredients I think that really separate Arc Reactor from any other pre-workout stimulants you find on the product. Be they pump stimulants, pump pre-workouts, or stimulant pre-workouts. And the main feature here is theacrine. We've got 100 milligrams in here. I highly doubt that if you look anywhere else on the market, you're going to find another product that has 100 milligrams of theacrine. This is what you might call a stimulant, but it also increases mood. Doesn't have the anxiety effects that a lot of people get with caffeine. Actually will increase your libido, and it has a very, very long half-life, probably longer than 12 hours from what we know from some of the insider information we have from the people who produce this. So this means a nice slow increase in energy that's going to last for a long, long time. We've added to theacrine caffeine, 250 milligrams. That's a decent dose. It's not going to knock your hairs off your ears, as John, I think, said earlier, but this is a solid dose of caffeine. And these two are synergized. Actually, they both compete for the same P450 enzyme, so they're going to work together with one another to increase levels. One of the interesting things about theacrine in and of itself is that it doesn't cause habituation. So you're not going to get, quote unquote, addicted to it. I say that in a very non-clinical way. It doesn't display tachyphylaxis. So the effects that you have week one are the same effects you can expect to have many weeks down the road. And it may even be some of the insider information that theacrine also helps prevent that habituation, which is very, very typical in caffeine. So we've got a really nice combo here. We've also added to that 60 milligrams of theobromine, which you'll find in teas. It's another methylxanthine like caffeine. This one actually tends to reduce blood pressure a little bit. It tends to kind of balance out the stimulant effects. So this is just a nice combination to blend together. And last but not least, in our cognitive blend here, we have an adaptogen, probably the world's oldest adaptogen that there is, Panax ginseng. In this case, we've got a modernized version of that. They've used an enzyme fermentation process to create an extract that's very, very bioavailable. That's why we can get away with just 45 milligrams instead of the 100 milligrams you'll typically see in a lot of products. So the GS15-4 is actually a pretty popular ingredient. You'll see that in a lot of nowadays, at least, a lot of products that are really on the up and up and using the best stuff that's out there. This will increase some of the gene expression for several neurotransmitters. It gives you a great improvement in mood, and it's actually such a good product. I gave some of this to my dad, and he loves it. So this is one of my favorites. So overall, Arc Reactor, we've really got, this is about as cutting edge as you can get. We've got synergy amongst all of these ingredients in each category. There's even some synergy across categories as well. And these are unique ingredients, especially the theacrine. You'll find this in other products, but I don't think you're going to find this in too many pre-workouts. We've got a really good dose of L-citrulline. This in and of itself is enough to have an impact on vasodilation. So what we're not trying to do is just have a kitchen sink approach and just throw everything. No kitchen sinking, and we're not fairy dusting here as well. You'll see in the detailed descriptions we have on the website that in each of these ingredients, some of which, for instance, like the beta-alanine, we've used just a minimal dose that you might want to take more to get the effect of the product. We've let you know that so you can do that in addition without trying to overload you in one product. Pump, an ergogenic effect, and a cognitive effect. We're making sure you have one heck of a workout if you take Arc Reactor.